Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today we're gonna talk about this all-new Pixel Rider from UDITER. Okay, so first things first, this is the box that it comes with, and when you open her up, you are right away greeted by the board itself. So this is the same board from last time, but with a little bit of improvements and tweaks. So first things first, we have your manual. It's pretty self-explanatory, but there are some additional steps for when you set up the LED board itself. First impression, it looks like we still have the same 38-inch deck, which is made out of fiberglass, but it appears to be much thicker and stiffer this time around, especially with this all-new LED deck. It also comes with this rough silicone texture, which improves grip. It kinda acts like a sandpaper, but obviously it's more rubberized because it has to somehow show the LED lights under this new hybrid grip tape. Okay, so now let's take out the board. So inside the box, we still have the same remote control that I really love, and I'm glad that they didn't change much about this because this one fits me perfectly and I have zero complaints about it. And I'm really happy that they kept it almost exactly the same. Another thing that's inside the box are the chargers. So we have your power cable and your power adapter or power brick. So this one is good for 100 up to 240 volts while charging. We also have a USB-C for the hand controls. And last but not the least, a multi-tool for when you want to adjust the wheels or the trucks on your electric skateboard. Okay, so now that we've seen what's inside the box, let's talk about some quick specs. For starters, this is basically the UDITER S3, but with an all-new feature, which is the LED board. So we still have the same 600 watts hub motors. So there's one on each side. And the good thing about having hub motors is that they're almost maintenance-free. So there's no belt that you have to replace. Not to mention, they're more weather-sealed and waterproof. But the most underrated feature that I liked about having hub motors is that they're very discreet. So when you ride this in a city or in a town, it's barely noticeable that it's an electric skateboard because there's no big belt that's hanging out. So you can almost get away with riding this almost everywhere because it looks like a regular skateboard. But there's one downside to it, and it's replacing the wheels on the rotors itself. I'm sure UDITER has thought of this already. I just wish that when the time comes and the wheels have worn off, there's ways to at least replace this PU wheels on the hub motor wheels itself. Okay, so moving here towards the center of the board, this one controls the speed, the batteries, and the LEDs. This one is waterproofing for the main computer, electronics, and the batteries. We also have a silicone gasket for the charging port for when you want to charge the battery directly on the board itself. But obviously, there's always an option for you to remove the battery and charge it at home. And as you can see, it's very simple to remove this battery pack, and now you can ride this electric skateboard as a regular longboard, and you can charge this battery pack up in your office or at home when you're not using it. Or you can just buy an extra battery from UDITER and you can just swap out the batteries whenever you run out of charge. As for the wheels and the trucks, we have high tensile CNC magnesium alloy parts paired with the soft yet flexible PU or polyurethane wheels, which I think is a perfect fit for rougher roads or asphalt like this. So they're better suited for commuting, comfort, and longer travels compared to your regular skateboard or longboards with stiffer and harder wheels. So I'm guessing this one is definitely designed for commuting rather than just pure speed and tricks. Okay, so powering the device, there's actually a button here that you press for 2 to 3 seconds. And this is the all-new Pixel board with a full LED screen on top. And obviously, it's best viewed at night. I will show you more about it later. But one of the main difference I would say is probably the thickness and the stiffness of the board. So this one is obviously stiffer because of the LED panels that stops it from flexing. As you can see, it barely flexes under my weight. So I'm guessing it's gonna be a little bit harder to turn. Okay, so now let's play with the board. First things first, you could summon the board. And then change direction. Ride it as normal. So much like the UDITER S3, this Pixel board rider comes with 4 speed levels. It also comes with 4 braking levels. You can also switch the direction on which this board is going. So you can either go this way or this way with the press of a button. So first let's stop, and then now let's change direction. So now you can see the arrow pointing the other way, and then now the board goes this way. Okay, so the only thing that I noticed that is different from the UDITER S3 is that the board is much stiffer compared to the previous one. So it has less flex. So as you can see, it bounces less now, and it kind of makes the board harder to turn. And yes, it's a notable difference, but for pros or for someone who has been riding longboards for a long time, I don't think it's gonna matter or it's gonna change a lot of the riding dynamics. It's obviously something you can live with, but it's definitely noticeable. Another thing I noticed about the Pixel Rider is that the LED graphics can be a little bit underwhelming under daytime conditions like this. But obviously at nighttime, this will be more visible, especially with the customizable LEDs and graphics that you can add onto it. But at daytime like this, it's barely noticeable, especially when you're viewing it not from our perspective. From our perspective, it's fine. But if some random stranger sees you riding this, they definitely won't see the graphics for sure. All in all, I'm really happy with the overall package. I just wish that for this Pixel Rider variant, they added headlights and taillights here at the back. But my number one suggestion would be having a pause button here wherein you could just press it and the board just stops on a hill. And I feel like it's a safety feature for when you want to mount the board in an incline or decline. But of course, there's more. We've heard all of that before on our previous UDITER S3 video. And of course, UDITER sent us this board for the all-new feature, and that's the LED board panel. And as you guys can see, this is a full-length LED panel attached to the main board itself. Hence why the board is thicker and stiffer when you stand on it. And at daytime, it's barely noticeable, but at night, you can see it from a mile away, especially when there's a rider riding on the board because there are lights reflecting on the rider. But as you can see, it's a customizable full LED board that you can customize up to your liking. So you can add text, images, logos of your companies, or anything that you can think of. There are even presets that you could just choose from. And there's even a paint program where you can literally draw and type anything that you want. So yeah, it's a cool addition to an already cool board. Otherwise, looking at it from afar, it definitely will catch someone else's eye if you see someone zooming past you at night on this UDITER S3. But yeah, it's definitely a neat party trick and a welcome addition to an already solid build. But again, thanks to UDITER for sending this in and for furthering our passion for electric longboards. And that's pretty much it. If you guys like this video, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.